Silence. It's not emptiness. It's not a weakness. Silence is focus. Silence is strength. Silence is power. In a world where everyone is screaming for attention, where everyone is showing off before they've done the work, where everybody wants validation before they've earned it, silence has become rare, and that is why it's the birthplace of greatness. The loudest people are not always the strongest. The ones making the most noise are often the ones with the least results. But those who understand the power of silence, they move differently. They think differently. They build differently. They don't announce every step. They don't beg for applause. They don't need validation. They just grind, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. Think about a seed. When it's buried under the soil, nobody claps. Nobody sees it. Nobody even knows it's there. But something powerful is happening in silence. Roots are growing. Strength is forming. Life is preparing itself. And when the time is right, the seed breaks through the ground and the world finally sees it. That's success. It's quiet while it's growing. It's silent while it's building. It's invisible while it's becoming. And when the time is right, it rises. Work hard in silence, because silence protects you. Silence shields your dream. Silence guards your vision. When you make noise too early, you invite doubt. You attract critics. You give your enemies a chance to sabotage you before you're ready. But when you grind in silence, nobody can touch it. Nobody can stop it. Nobody can kill what they can't see. The foundation of every great life is built in silence. The hours nobody claps for. The mornings nobody celebrates. The sacrifices nobody sees. That's where discipline is forged. That's where resilience is born. That's where greatness begins. But too many people don't want the silence. They want quick applause. They want quick validation. They want to be seen before they've built anything worth seeing. And that's why they fail. Stop telling everyone your plans. Stop announcing every move. Stop wasting time chasing approval from people who don't even believe in themselves. Every moment you spend talking is a moment you could have been building. Every second you waste bragging is a second you could have been grinding. Talk does not build empires. Applause does not create legacy. Noise does not produce results. Hard work does. Discipline does. Focus does. Work hard in silence, because silence creates clarity. In silence you can hear your own voice above the world's noise. In silence you can focus without distraction. In silence you can protect your energy and channel it into building instead of explaining. Silence keeps you sharp. Silence keeps you dangerous. Silence keeps you moving while everyone else is busy showing off. And here's the truth. The more you talk, the more power you give away. The more you brag, the more energy you waste. The more you announce, the more distractions you attract. But when you work quietly, when you move in silence, when you keep your focus sacred, your results will speak so loudly that no one can deny them. Look around. How many people do you know who talk about their dreams but never start? How many brag about what they're going to do but never finish anything? How many waste years in noise and end up with nothing? Don't be one of them. Don't waste your life chasing applause instead of building results. Don't spend your time telling people what you will do. Spend it actually doing it. Because here's the truth. If you're talking, you're not working. If you're bragging, you're not building. If you're seeking attention, you're not seeking progress. Talk is cheap. Work is priceless. Noise fades. Results remain. And when you finally rise, when your results speak, when your silence breaks, nobody will be able to question it. Nobody will be able to argue with it. Nobody will be able to deny it. That's the beauty of silence. By the time the world notices, it's too late for them to stop you. So embrace the silence. Respect the silence. Love the silence. Because silence is where the grind happens. Silence is where the foundation is built. Silence is where the fire grows. And when you finally rise, when you finally break through the surface like that seed, when your success finally explodes for the world to see, you won't need to say a word. Your results will speak. Your work will scream. Your silence will roar louder than any noise you could have made. Work hard in silence. Build in silence. Rise in silence. And when the time comes, let your results do the talking. Discipline. That's the secret ingredient. Without it, silence means nothing. Without discipline, silence becomes laziness. Without discipline, Silence becomes wasted time. But when you add discipline to silence, it becomes power. It becomes unstoppable. You see, most people want results without discipline. They want success without sacrifice. They want rewards without work. That's why they talk more than they act. That's why they seek attention before they've earned it. That's why their dreams stay dreams. Because they don't have the patience to grind in silence. Discipline means you wake up even when you're tired. Discipline means you work even when nobody's watching. Discipline means you push even when the applause isn't there. Discipline means you keep your head down and your hands busy while everybody else is showing off. That's what builds strength. That's what builds legacy. That's what builds unshakable greatness. Patience. That's the second piece. Because silence is not just about working quietly. It's about waiting. It's about trusting the process. It's about believing that the results will come at the right time if you keep grinding in the dark. Too many people can't handle patience. They want overnight success. They want instant gratification. They want recognition now. And because of that, they waste time chasing applause instead of building results. But hear me, greatness takes time. Seeds don't grow into trees overnight. Foundations don't hold up skyscrapers in a week. Diamonds aren't formed in an instant. Pressure, heat, time, that's what it takes. And if you don't respect the process, you'll never see the promise. Work hard in silence and wait, not passively, not lazily, actively, patiently, consistently. Because patience isn't about doing nothing. Patience is about doing the right things day after day without needing instant reward. Patience is what keeps you grounded when success feels far away. Patience is what keeps you working when nobody is clapping. Patience is what keeps you strong when the world hasn't noticed you yet. And here's the truth. Chasing attention too early is dangerous. When you show your hand too soon, you give people the power to stop you. You invite doubt. You invite criticism. You invite energy that doesn't belong to your vision. People will laugh. People will mock. People will tell you it's impossible. And if you're not strong enough, their voices will break you before your dream even begins. That's why silence is your shield. Silence keeps the dream safe while it's still fragile. Silence gives you room to grow without pressure. Silence protects you until you're ready to rise. Don't be so quick to prove yourself. Don't be so desperate to show off. Don't be so hungry for validation that you kill your own vision before it's ready. Protect it, nurture it, build it in silence. And remember this, noise is temporary, but results are permanent. The claps will fade, the likes will disappear, the comments will stop. But the work you put in, the discipline you showed, the patience you held on to, that will last forever. So stay quiet, stay patient, stay disciplined. Let them underestimate you. Let them ignore you. Let them doubt you. Because one day, your silence will be broken, not by your words, but by your results. And when that day comes, no critic, no hater, no doubter will be able to deny what you've built. That's the power of working hard in silence. Discipline fuels it. Patience protects it. And the results crown it. Noise. That's the enemy of progress. Noise distracts. Noise drains. Noise scatters your energy. And in this world, noise is everywhere. Social media is noise. Gossip is noise. Opinions are noise. Drama is noise. And if you're not careful, you'll spend your entire life listening to noise instead of building your future. That's why silence matters. Silence isn't just about keeping quiet. Silence is about sharpening your focus. Silence is about tuning out the voices that don't matter so you can hear the one that does, your own. Because here's the truth. You can't build in chaos. You can't create in distraction. You can't rise while drowning in noise. You need silence. Look around you. Everybody's talking. Everybody's posting. Everybody's chasing attention. They're addicted to noise. And the more they talk, the less they build. The more they post, the less they produce. The more they seek validation, the less they create value. Don't be like them. Don't drown in the same noise that's killing their dreams. Step away. Step into silence. Step into focus. Because silence is where power is born. Silence is where clarity comes. Silence is where ideas grow. Silence is where discipline sharpens. Noise will steal your vision. Silence will protect it. Noise will distract you from your mission. Silence will fuel it. Noise will weaken your spirit. Silence will strengthen it. And here's the reality. When you work in noise, you work for attention. But when you work in silence, you work for results. And results last longer than applause. Results matter more than opinions. Results speak louder than any noise you could ever make. Ask yourself this. How much time do you waste on noise? How many hours are lost scrolling, arguing, explaining yourself, proving yourself? How many dreams are buried in the graveyard of distraction? How many goals are still unfinished because noise pulled the dreamer away? Don't let that be you. Don't let noise steal your destiny. Don't let distractions waste your time. Work hard in silence. Protect your focus. Guard your mind. Because the world will always try to pull you in 100 directions. But you only need one. Forward. Forward toward your purpose. Forward toward your vision. Forward toward your destiny. And the only way to move forward is to block out the noise and lock into the silence. People will not understand your silence. They'll mistake it for weakness. They'll call it hiding. They'll think you're doing nothing. But while they're talking, you'll be working. While they're posting, you'll be building. While they're making noise, you'll be making progress. And when your results finally arrive, their noise will fade. Because results cannot be argued with. Results cannot be denied. Results silence the critics better than words ever could. So stop wasting time explaining yourself. Stop wasting energy defending yourself. Stop wasting focus proving yourself. Let silence speak for you. Let your grind answer the questions. Let your success silence the noise. And remember, lions don't roar while they hunt. They move quietly. They stalk quietly. They strike quietly. And only after the kill do they roar. Be like that. Move in silence. Work in silence. Build in silence. And when the time is right, let your success roar so loudly that the world has no choice but to listen. Consistency. That's the word that separates dreamers from achievers. That's the line between wishing and winning. Everybody can work hard for a day. Everybody can stay disciplined for a week. Everybody can show up when it's easy, when it's fun, when it feels new. But very few can stay consistent when it's boring. Very few can grind when it's silent. Very few can keep moving when nobody is clapping. That's why consistency is so powerful. Consistency builds momentum. Consistency builds strength. Consistency transforms average into unstoppable. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be brilliant. You don't need to be lucky. You just need to be consistent. Because consistency compounds. One small step taken daily becomes a mountain climbed. One small habit repeated daily becomes an unshakable routine. One small discipline practiced daily becomes greatness over time. But here's the problem. Most people can't handle the silence. They can't handle the grind when nobody's watching. They crave recognition. They crave attention. They crave applause. And when it doesn't come, they stop. They slow down. They quit. That's why their dreams never see the light of day. Because they were addicted to noise, not committed to silence. Work hard in silence. Be consistent in silence. Be relentless in silence. Because silence is where real progress lives. You don't see a tree grow day by day, but it grows. You don't see muscles build instantly, but they build. You don't see the foundation of a skyscraper while it's being laid, but without it, the building will collapse. That's consistency. Quiet, hidden, invisible, but essential. And here's the truth. Consistency will test you. It will test your patience. It will test your resilience. It will test your belief in yourself. Because in the beginning, you will see little progress. In the beginning, you will feel like nothing is changing. In the beginning, you'll wonder if the silence is worth it. And that's when most people give up. They mistake silence for emptiness. They mistake slow growth for no growth. They mistake hidden progress for wasted effort. But not you. Not if you choose consistency, because consistency is the art of trusting the process. Consistency is the discipline of planting seeds, even when the soil looks barren. Consistency is the faith to keep watering when there's no sign of life. Consistency is knowing that what you do in silence today will echo loudly in your future. Resilience is tied to consistency, because you can't stay consistent without resilience. And resilience means you keep going after setbacks. Resilience means you rise after failure. Resilience means you don't quit when the road gets hard, and it will get hard. There will be days when silence feels heavy. There will be days when you question if it's worth it. There will be days when the temptation to quit screams louder than your purpose. But resilience says keep going. Resilience says stay focused. Resilience says the silence is where champions are made. Stop expecting applause. Stop waiting for recognition. Stop craving validation. Learn to love the grind nobody sees. Learn to love the discipline nobody celebrates. Learn to love the progress only you can feel, because that's where strength is born. That's where resilience grows. That's where greatness takes root. Think about athletes. The greatest don't become great on the field. They become great in the gym, in the practice sessions, in the hours of training nobody records, in the sweat nobody claps for, in the work that nobody notices. That's where champions are built. And when the lights finally come on, when the crowd finally cheers, when the noise finally arrives, it's too late. Their greatness has already been forged in silence. The same is true for you. Your greatness will not be built in applause. It will not be built in validation. It will not be built in the noise. It will be built in the quiet choices, the hidden habits, the consistent grind, the silent resilience. That's why you can't stop. That's why you can't quit. That's why you can't waste time chasing noise. And here's something powerful. Silence builds character. When you're not being watched, who are you? When nobody is clapping, do you still give your best? When nobody is praising you, do you still show up? That's the real test, because anyone can work hard when people are watching. But true discipline, true consistency, true greatness is revealed when nobody's watching. Your character is shaped in silence. Your habits are forged in silence. Your future is built in silence. That's why you must stay consistent, even when it feels invisible. Because the invisible work becomes visible results. The hidden grind becomes public success. The private resilience becomes an undeniable strength. Work hard in silence, not just for a day, not just for a week, every day, relentlessly, consistently, because every small effort adds up, every disciplined choice multiplies, every quiet moment of focus builds a foundation too strong to be broken. And let me remind you, consistency doesn't require perfection. You will fail. You will fail. You will fall. You will stumble. But resilience means you rise again. Consistency means you keep moving. Silence means you don't quit just because nobody sees you. Progress is not about never falling. It's about never staying down. So embrace the silence. Embrace the grind. Embrace the patience. Because while others are wasting time chasing noise, you'll be building. While others are bragging, you'll be growing. While others are distracted, you'll be consistent. And when the time is right, your silence will speak louder than their noise ever could. Not everybody wants to see you win. That's the truth most people don't want to face. Some people will smile in your face and secretly hope you fail. Some people will clap for you in public and laugh at you in private. Some people are waiting, watching, ready to criticize, ready to doubt, ready to tear down anything you build. That's why silence is not just discipline. Silence is protection. When you work hard in silence, you keep your vision safe. You protect your dream from voices that aren't meant to touch it. You guard your mission from negativity that doesn't belong near it. Because the moment you reveal too much, too soon, you give people the power to attack it before it's strong enough to stand. And some dreams die that way. Not because they weren't powerful, not because they weren't possible, but because they were exposed to the wrong people at the wrong time. Your dream is like a flame. In the beginning, it's small. It's fragile. It needs protection. If you shield it, if you feed it, if you guard it carefully, it will grow into a fire that can't be put out. But if you expose it too early to the wind of negativity, the flame can be blown out before it even catches. That's why you must work hard in silence. Because silence keeps the flame alive until it's too big to be stopped. Understand this. Not everyone is meant to know your plans. Not everyone is meant to hear your goals. Not everyone is meant to see your process. Because some people don't want to understand, they just want to criticize. Some don't want to support, they just want to discourage. Some don't want to lift you, they just want to pull you down. And if you let them get too close, their words can poison your spirit. But when you stay silent, when you grind in private, when you protect your vision in the quiet, they can't touch it, they can't stop it, they can't kill it. By the time they see it, it's already real. By the time they notice, it's already strong. By the time they hear about it, it's too late for them to stop you. That's the power of silence. Jealousy is real. People will envy what they don't understand. They'll envy your focus. They'll envy your progress. They'll envy your discipline. And instead of being inspired, they'll try to drag you down to their level. Don't give them the chance. Don't give them the satisfaction. Protect your vision in silence. Let them underestimate you. Let them ignore you. Let them think you're not doing anything. And then one day when the results roar, they'll have no choice but to face the truth. And listen, the bigger your dream, the more doubt you'll attract. That's the cost of aiming high. Small minds can't comprehend big visions. People who've given up on themselves can't stand to see someone chasing something greater. So they'll call you crazy. They'll say it's impossible. They'll try to talk you out of it. And if you listen, if you let their noise enter your spirit, you'll start doubting yourself. That's why silence is your shield. Because silence shuts out the doubters. Silence keeps their noise from entering your mind. Silence allows you to focus on the only voice that matters, your own. The voice that says, keep going, keep grinding, keep believing. Work hard in silence, because silence protects your energy. Every time you talk about your dream to the wrong person, you waste energy explaining, defending, proving. That's energy that could have been used to build. That's energy that could have been used to create. That's energy that could have been used for grinding. Don't waste it on people who don't matter. Use it on the work that does. And remember this, results are the best revenge. Success is the loudest answer. Silence is not about hiding forever. It's about holding until it's ready. It's about building until it's undeniable. It's about protecting until it's unstoppable. Because when the results come, you won't need to prove anything. The results will prove it all. The success will speak for itself. The victory will silence every critic, every hater, every doubter. So stop rushing to reveal. Stop craving early applause. Stop exposing fragile dreams to people who will never understand them. Keep it safe. Keep it sacred. Keep it silent. And while they're busy talking, you'll be busy building. While they're wasting time doubting, you'll be investing time growing. While they're making noise, you'll be making progress. Then when the moment comes, when the work is done, when the silence finally breaks, the same people who doubted you will have no choice but to respect you. The same people who laughed will have no choice but to listen. The same people who underestimated you will have no choice but to recognize what you've built. That's the power of silence. It protects you from negativity. It shields you from jealousy. It guards you from doubt. And when the results arrive, they speak louder than any words ever could. Work hard in silence. Protect your vision. Guard your mission. Build without noise. And when the world finally sees, let your success roar. Silence is not only the birthplace of greatness. It is the anchor that keeps greatness steady once it arrives. Because success is dangerous. Success can make you forget where you came from. Success can make you arrogant. Success can make you loud, and that's why so many people rise quickly and fall just as fast. They weren't rooted in silence. They weren't grounded in humility. They let noise destroy what discipline had built. You must understand this. Silence is not just for the climb. Silence is also for the summit. Silence teaches you to stay humble, to stay grounded, to stay hungry even after you win. Because the moment you let the noise of success replace the silence of discipline, you start losing the very thing that made you great. Think about it. How many people have you seen rise, achieve something, gain applause, and then lose it all? Not because they weren't talented, not because they weren't skilled, but because they got addicted to noise. They stopped working. They started talking. They stopped grinding. They started bragging. And the same spotlight they chased became the heat that burned them down. That's why silence is your protection even after you succeed. Silence keeps you focused on the work, not the applause. Silence keeps you hungry for growth, not satisfied with praise. Silence reminds you that your worth is not in validation, but in discipline. Work hard in silence, not just to build success, but to keep it. Not just to rise, but to stay standing. Not just to prove yourself once, but to keep proving yourself every single day. Because the truth is this: yesterday's grind does not pay today's bills. Yesterday's discipline will not carry tomorrow's dream. Every single day requires work. Every single day requires focus. Every single day requires silence and humility. That's what silence teaches best. Silence strips away pride. Silence reminds you that greatness is not about being seen, it's about being built. Silence reminds you that success is not about applause, it's about impact. Silence reminds you that the work matters more than the recognition. Humility is strength. Arrogance is weakness. Loud pride collapses, but quiet discipline lasts forever. You don't need to announce how strong you are. You don't need to prove how powerful you are. True power is silent. True confidence is quiet. True greatness doesn't need to shout. It simply exists. Undeniable, unshakable, unchallenged. And here's the truth: the world respects silence. Noise gets attention, but silence gets respect. People may notice the loud ones first, but they admire the quiet ones who deliver results consistently. They admire the ones who don't need the spotlight, because the spotlight ends up finding them anyway. Silence also trains discipline, because when you're not chasing applause, the only fuel you have is your own. When you're not posting your progress, the only accountability is yourself. When you're not showing off to others, the only validation comes from within. And that's what builds inner strength. That's what builds unshakable self-belief. That's what builds warriors who cannot be broken by doubt, because their confidence is not external, it's internal. And listen, silence doesn't mean you're hiding. Silence doesn't mean you're weak. Silence means you're too focused to waste time on noise. Silence means you're too disciplined to be distracted by validation. Silence means you're building something so real, so powerful, so undeniable, that it doesn't need to be announced. Work hard in silence because it makes you bulletproof. Noise can be taken away, applause can be taken away, attention can be taken away, but discipline cannot be stolen, focus cannot be stolen, silence cannot be stolen. Those things live inside you, and when the noise fades, and it always does, those are the things that keep you standing. Remember this: success is not final, winning is not permanent, greatness is not a one-time event. It is a lifestyle, it is a commitment, it is a choice you make every single day, and silence is what keeps that choice alive. So don't let noise distract you when you rise. Don't let applause weaken you when you win. Don't let validation steal your hunger when you succeed. Keep working, keep grinding, keep moving, in silence, because silence made you, and silence will keep you. And when you master silence, when you master humility, when you master discipline, nothing can shake you. No doubt, not critics, not failure, not even success itself, because your foundation is not built on noise, it is built on silence. Work hard in silence, rise in silence, stay in silence, and let your results past, present, and future speak forever. This is it. The final reminder, the closing call, the last push. Everything we've said about silence, everything we've learned about discipline, patience, focus, humility, it all comes down to this truth: time is short, life is fragile, and the only way to build something that lasts is to work hard in silence until your results make the noise for you. Think about your life right now. Where are you wasting energy chasing applause? Where are you giving time to noise instead of progress? Where are you looking for validation instead of building value? Because the truth is, most people never see their full potential. Not because they weren't capable, not because they weren't talented, but because they wasted their strength on noise instead of investing it in silence. Noise is easy. Noise feels good. Noise makes you feel like you're doing something when you're not. But silence is hard. Silence is lonely. Silence requires faith. Silence forces you to trust the process when nobody's clapping, nobody's watching, nobody's praising. And that's why silence is rare. That's why silence is powerful. That's why silence is where true greatness is built. You must decide right now: will you live for noise, or will you live for results? Will you chase validation, or will you chase victory? Will you spend your life talking about what you're going to do, or will you spend your life actually doing it? That choice is yours, and your future depends on it. Work hard in silence because silence builds patience. The world will not hand you success overnight. The grind will test you. The silence will stretch you. The process will challenge you. And most people quit right there. They can't handle the waiting. They can't handle the hidden grind. They can't handle the lack of recognition. But if you stay in the silence, if you keep showing up, if you stay consistent, you'll build something unshakable. Work hard in silence because silence builds resilience. You will fall. You will fail. You will face setbacks. But when you've been trained in silence, when you've built strength in the quiet, you know how to get back up. You know how to keep going. You know how to fight even when nobody is cheering. That resilience will carry you when others give up. Work hard in silence because silence builds humility. Noise inflates egos. Applause feeds arrogance. But silence keeps you grounded. Silence keeps you focused. Silence reminds you that the work matters more than the recognition. And humility is what keeps greatness standing when success arrives. Work hard in silence because silence protects your vision. Dreams are fragile in the beginning. Plans are vulnerable at the start. And noise exposes them to doubters, critics, and jealous voices that can destroy them before they're ready. But silence keeps them safe. Silence gives them room to grow. Silence gives them strength until they're undeniable. And work hard in silence because silence amplifies your results. When you finally rise, when your vision finally breaks through, when your results finally arrive, the world won't need an announcement. They won't need a speech. They won't need your explanation. They will see it. They will feel it. They will know it. Because results roar louder than noise ever could. Remember this: lions don't roar while they hunt. They move silently, patiently, relentlessly. And when the time is right, when the kill is made, when the victory is theirs, then they roar. That's how you must live. Move quietly, build consistently, grind relentlessly. And when the time is right, let your success roar. Your silence is your weapon. Your silence is your shield. Your silence is your strength. Don't waste it. Don't trade it for noise. Don't throw it away for cheap validation. Respect it. Protect it. Embrace it. Because silence is not weakness. Silence is the birthplace of greatness. So from this moment forward, make the decision. No more wasted words. No more wasted energy. No more wasted time. No more chasing noise. From now on, you work hard in silence. You grind when nobody's clapping. You build when nobody believes. You rise when nobody notices. And when the results come, let them speak. Let them shout. Let them roar so loudly that the world has no choice but to listen. Work hard in silence. Let discipline be your voice. Let consistency be your message. Let resilience be your story. Let results be your proof. And when the world finally hears you, let them hear not your words but your greatness. Don't talk about it. Don't brag about it. Don't beg for applause. Work hard in silence. And let your success make all the noise.